So I am very excited. My hubby found an awesome deal, and we're actually get to go on vacation this year. And I know on one hand it's like, oh, this whole year has been a vacation because you've been working from home since March. And on the other, more real hand, it's every waking moment has been an existential nightmare. What is this year? So I wanted a new dress for vacation. I don't like shopping online because it's just too much of a gamble, and I didn't want to go into any stores because I don't like shopping, and I would have to paw through stuff and touch things, and I don't want to do that right now because numbers are going back up, and I didn't want to. So then I remembered this little guy, which was sitting in my Goodwill bag, just minding its own business. So I'm like, ha ha ha, you're coming with me. I don't know, I like the fabric. The bottom is just kind of like a tiered thing. The top is not flattering. It's also too tight across the chest, which makes me think that the waist part, which I think fits, is supposed to be much more baggy because nothing should fit tight across my chest. I don't have a chest to speak of, so I mean, it exists, but if anything is ever tight on it, then that thing don't fit. It's just cold, harsh truth of reality. So it's got like a stretchy waist. It has, oh, I just untied it. It has this little waistband belt around the waist. So we're gonna use that for something. We're just gonna cut and sew until it's cute, until we like it. And then the top, it's a high neck. It's got a bit of a ruffle. That ruffle's gonna go. And then the back of it, again, elastic waist. There's no zipper or anything. It's just over the head. And then it ties. It's got a little V. And it ties there. So my plan for it is to make it, cut off the ruffle, make it a deep V, and then chop the back up so it's got a little sneaky there. I don't want to make it too bare in the back if I'm doing a deep V, because I like to, have one focal point. But yeah, just kind of strap that up and have a little peekaboo and a tie here. That is my initial thought process for this guy. I was thinking of doing slits on the side because I remembered this being more flat instead of tiered. I don't think the slits are going to look good with a tiered skirt, so I'm going to skip the slits. Say that 3 times fast. Skip the slits. And that is the thought process. We're just going to wander and see what we like, and hopefully stop just shy of hating it. And we'll see. And if I ruin it, then I'll just, probably hang on to it for fabric. But it does have a little bit of a liner. So any chopping, we're going to sew to the liner to get rid of raw edges and such. But we're going to see what happens. I don't usually make clothes into other clothes. I've seen videos of take a scarf and chop a hole in it, and now it's a poncho. They worry me. I saw one video where the person was wearing the garments and just cutting crotch out with scissors and just, I don't have that sort of scissor confidence. I'm confident. I am not cut your crotch out while wearing a garment confident. But, got my plans. And the first step is to flip this bad boy inside out and mark it up with blue chalk because this is white, so white chalk isn't going to show up. And this is going to be a sewing machine project. So I know I said that I want to do as much non-sew things to make them more accessible, but if you're watching a crafting video, you probably have a sewing machine. So this is a sewing project. Let's see. Frankenstein, make it work, hope for the best. Let's see what happens. So this is what the dress looks like inside out. even. So first thing I'm going to measure this, find the midpoint, mark the midpoint, because that's going to be where I'm cutting when it's off. I'm not going to get on the dummy. I am going to go ahead and take that ruffle off, because that's just going to go. So, got my measuring tape, got my scissors, got my blue chalk. For now. 6 inches. So at 3. Okay, so that's all. That's all I want to do to the front. Is that all I want to do to the front? That's all I want to do to the front. I was thinking of cutting the sides up and adding lace, but I think cutting the back, because then if it's in a bow, then it's going to be adjustable. So the back is going to give us the fitting leeway that that we want. And I'm including you in this. It's we now. Royal we. It's a Duchessly we. Duchessly we. Also, these little guys, it has pockets. If you're wondering, like, oh, like, why don't you just get a different dress and whatnot? You ignore the fact that I don't like shopping. It's got pockets. You don't just throw out a dress that has pockets. They're rare. They're wonderful. They're beautiful. I love them. So there's the little neck piece. We'll see if that, it's not enough to really come in handy later, but it's there. So now with the back, finding my little chicken scratchy notes. So I don't want to cut into the elastic channel. I want to keep that the way it is, because then I don't have to put in new elastic or change that at all. It's not broken. Oh, none of it's broken. We're breaking it. So just marking that for later. I've got the seams on the side to guide me there. So this is going to be a straight line and a straight line. Just going to put a roller down it. And then here. So that's going to get cut. And these will be straps. Or will they? It's just chalk. This is going to come out in the wash, so I just sketch and think. And see, if you've watched other videos, this is already easier to see because it doesn't blend in with the carpet. Like the gray t-shirt fabric that we've been using. Alright, so I have this folded over. I did some blue sketching on this side apparently. I already did my chest slit. So because if it's symmetrical, it's intentional. I had to stare at it for a little while to figure out where I was going with it. So this is going to be the tie. So basically the whole thing's getting split down the middle. So I'm going to use the seam as a guide for that. Alright, so I didn't have to have it folded over. Went right down the center back seam that was already there, so that's easy peasy. Keep that folded over. And then, so we're going to cut out a little back slit. And then I'm going to cut the band that's going to get sewed to this, so that'll tie in the back. Strappies. Where'd my chalk go? And cut the back. This corner's a little messy, but we're going to fix that when we sew it. on the seam. So you don't want it to come apart, just above it. All right, we failed in a few spots. I caught the seam there. That's later Katie's problem. Just cutting this in half. So I can't completely turn this inside out the way I'd like to, because I am leaving some seams intact. So I'm going to carefully pin this, and there's going to be top sewing involved, so top stitching, so you got to be really careful. Because if you make a mistake, everybody knows. So I'm going to pin very carefully. I always try to make up for any sloppiness in pinning. Sometimes I get macho and go, oh, I don't need to pin that much. No, you do. Like, it's drudge work, but it makes a difference. All right, I couldn't figure out how to sew while filming. So here is half. I was able to flip that inside out so I didn't have to top stitch the bottom. Incorporated the strap and then did top stitching there. This, we left this seam from before. Then we did top stitching for the deep V. And then this is the side we haven't done yet. So it's still open on this side. So I'm going to show you how I pinned it. So we got the bottom, which is going to be the back strap. So I'm going to flip this wrong side out. If you're new to sewing, the side of the fabric that the world sees is the right side, and the inside is the wrong side. So just to add to things that suck to be a lefty, always try to do your pins facing left. That way your pins will be upside down when you sew, so you can slide them out easier. You don't have to yeah. Alright, so this part, I'm going to take the cut end, and it's going to get sandwiched right in the middle. And then I just got to make sure that everything is flat and tucked back when I sew, so it doesn't get sucked up into a seam. So, yep, so we have the little peekaboo back slit. The strings, last time I tried this on, the straps fit without the strings being tied. I might cut off the strings. I didn't cut off the strings yet, just in case it needs a little extra support now that we have this deep V. And since this was tight before, I don't want it to be like, huh! Like, when I said I didn't have much, I don't mean to say that I don't have enough to fall out of a dress. Surprise! We don't want to fall out of a dress. We don't want to see, what jail looks like on vacation. I don't know, maybe they're into it. I'm not. But so that is that, and then I'm just going to cut off the little belt loops very carefully. Don't want to cut off anything that we're going to have to sew, because so far so good. Like, that last seam went really well, and this is definitely a quit while you're ahead moment, because it's looking good, and I'm not hating it, which means, like, step lightly, because it could be, I've been in this situation where it's like, oh, you know what, this is going great. I'm just going to keep doing stuff. And then it's ruined. And it's sad. And then I keep the fabric and turn it into something else. So, okay. So here is the finished product. I turned the V into a deep keyhole instead of just a V. I tried it on. I just wasn't comfortable. It was too much. It was too, like, anything can happen. While I am always down for anything and up for whatever, and it's adventure time, a tit popping out of my dress at dinner is just not the sort of adventure that I'm looking for. normally. So yeah, so I did just, I took the ruffle, remember the ruffle that we cut off? So there was that rough edge, that raw edge that I hadn't seamed up yet. So I just took that, I folded it over, and I sewed the ruffle back onto the exact spot that I cut it off of. So it came home. It came home in a very nice little homecoming. So it is bare. It's bare shoulders. It's bare chest. It's bare in the back. I feel like with this sort of like little house on the prairie, little hoe on the prairie, it's bright white. It's very babyish and virginal, and it's like bridal. So like making it a little bit, tarting it up a little bit, is okay because it still has that overall feel. That it's you do with this with like red satin, it's gonna be like, oh my god, you're showing a lot of stuff. But this is just like, oh, it's summery, it's springy, it's whatever. Just don't let your boob fall out. You do what you want with your life. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. So some successes. I am glad that we left the strings on here because they are handy. I am gonna use them. I tried it. I tried taking them off. It's just, if I'm ever out and I, decide I don't want them, you can always like wrap it around this for more of a little like convertible thing. And then like the tail end can go right into this little knot. And then, you have that sort of strap. Leads it to a little bit more versatility where if you just cut it off, it's cut off. You can't do that. But I think the back came together really nicely. I like the swerve, little sexy curves. My back has many curves because I have scoliosis. That's the other thing that makes me worrisome about deep V's and anything that you're cutting a straight line on my torso because my torso isn't made of straight lines. Nope, it's not gonna hang right because I don't hang right, and that's okay. I hang like me, but yep. So, and I stretched out the fabric and I just sewed it to the elastic. So that is a little bit of a raw edge. We'll see if the little strings tickle me to death. We'll find out. And yep, we ended up not using the other piece because I put it on it, and the it's just like, it's red, white, and blue when you hold it here. When you hold it here, it's red, white, and yellow. Red, yellow, and blue colors. And it's just, it's that you think your teeth are white until you hold up a piece of paper and you're like, oh god, my teeth are not white. My teeth. This is going to go to dinner one night on vacay. And, just like a chef tasting their food along the way when they're making it, when in doubt, just take a minute, try it on, see what you're doing. If there's still pins in it, use safety pins if you're going to do that so you don't stab yourself or lose your work. Both are bad. But yeah, when in doubt, take a minute, try it on. Alright, so my stitches aren't perfect everywhere, but I'm happy with it, and this one is getting put to bed because I like it right now. I like it, it's good, I'm proud of it, and it's a dress. I'm excited. So, it's fun to, did I make this? I mean, I didn't make it from scratch, but this is the equivalent of like cooking from a can. And if you're wondering where O'Malley is, he was sleeping under the sewing machine for most of this. Now he is. O'Malley says like and subscribe so you can see more silliness and find out what we make together next. He's making a nap right now. He likes to make naps. He likes to make naps. Have a good night.